Explorer, your best environmental monitoring assistance and your best investment choice. Explorer is a private limited company that produces amphibious robots for scientific purposes. The current prototype is Explorer 1.0. There are two sources of investment. The main source of fund is from shareholders. Investors can buy shares of our company and provide funds for us. We will receive dividends once we make profits. In addition, since the project is a member of Shanghai Science Society, it is very likely that this organization will provide assistance for future development. After receiving enough funds, we will produce 25 Explorer 1.0 for examination and development. We will sell these robots to environmental monitoring organizations for testing and seeking for improvements based on their feedbacks. After perfecting the design of the robots, we will produce the final product in a large scale. In order to meet the market demands, we provide two services for environmental monitoring organizations which need these robots for regular checking. We can sell these robots to them permanently. For individual investigators, we also provide rental services. After analyzing different forms of marketing, we decide to sell these robots to consumers directly since the market of this robot is relatively small compared to those of consumer goods.
We have done a lot of research about the global environmental market. The global market for environmental technologies, goods, and services reached $1.12 trillion in 2017. Then we did more detailed research about China and the US. First, in the United States hosts the largest single environmental market, accounting for approximately a quarter of the global market. The US industry is yielding $342.2 billion of revenue in 2017. Second, in China, according to the National Bureau of Statistics data in 2020, investment in water conservation, environment, and public facility management amounted to 8.75 RMB trillion, an increase of 0.2% year-on-year. Also, China's environmental protection market is growing steadily. According to a report on China's environmental protection industry in 2020, published by Chinese Academy of Environmental Planning, in 2017, total revenue of the sector was up 11.3% year-on-year to 1,700 billion RMB, of which revenue from environmental services was 1,120 billion RMB, an increase of 23.2% for the previous year. It is expected that the size of the environmental protection sector could reach 2 trillion RMB in 2022. We can tell from these statistics that the whole globe pays a lot of attention to environmental protection, and the revenue of the environmental industry is also increasing. Thus, we can rationally conclude that we have huge opportunities and potential to succeed in the market.
Despite the external advantages due to the expanding market size, we also concluded some internal benefits of this project after the SWOT analysis. Explorer 1.0 is important because it can release investigators from dangerous jobs. For example, Conrad Stephens, an Arctic scientist who did research about climate change in Greenland for 30 years, fell into a crevasse in the ice accidentally and down into the deep ocean below. If scientists use Explorer 1.0 to sample, these kinds of tragedies can be avoided. In addition, the comparatively small dimensions of these robots minimize the risk of harming the local environment when operating. Human scientists, on the other hand, would threaten local creatures.
The mechanical design of Explorer 1 gives these comparative advantages. Firstly, silicon is used to seal the robots and make it waterproof. Dryers are not used to minimize cost and noise. Secondly, compared to robots with circular wheels, Explorer 1 can surmount vertical obstacles. According to experiments, Explorer 1 can step over obstacles with a vertical height of 13 centimeters. which indicates that the robots can move properly and step over natural obstacles like stones and shrubs. Compared to robots with foot, these robots can move with a higher speed. Experiments show that Explorer 1 can move with a speed of more than 0.3 meters per second, which is satisfying compared to similar products. In order to test the structural strengths of fan-shaped wells, stress analysis is used. Furthermore, simulation is used to examine the force induced by lateral waves. After adjusting the structure of fan-shaped wells based on the results, 20% of the material is saved, and the force induced by 1 meter per second of lateral wave is reduced from 2.5 Newton to 2.1 Newton. Last but not least, Explorer 1 can be customized easily. Functional structures such as cameras and mechanical arms can be installed based on the consumer's demands. This is an innovative factor that most similar products don't have.
We will allocate our financing in a way that maximizes its efficiency. The total amount of money we needed for Series A financing is $145,000. This is a pie graph that shows how are we going to allocate our funds. The largest part consists of rent, which is around $8,000 for the first 4 years. Material and equipment also take large proportion of the total finance needed. The equipment part includes the cost of a laser cutting machine and a 3D printing machine. The material part includes electronic components and PMMA plates that are used to construct the robots. 3-point estimation is used to take error rate into consideration. We use the most possible error rate for calculation, and it's worth mentioning that the workers' wages are based on the number of products they produce. Thus, the problem of free rider can be eliminated. In order to prevent overproduction, we decided to only produce 50 robots this year, so we still have the opportunity to adjust our future plan. The cost is high since it includes equipment, and in 2023, 100 products are expected to be produced and sold. At that time, our company would become profit positive. By 2024, we will be able to cover our costs and return investment in a form of dividends. So for this short period of time, we already can earn you some money, which is pretty difficult things to do compared to other companies.